Long ago, nestled between towering mountains and hidden by a thick veil of enchanted mist, there lay a kingdom unlike any other. This was the kingdom of Loria, a land of vibrant meadows, sparkling rivers, and skies that shimmered with colors no one could name. The people of Loria lived in harmony, their days filled with music, laughter, and a deep respect for the magic that kept their land alive. But one fateful day, the magic began to fade. The rivers slowed, the meadows withered, and the skies turned dull. The people of Loria, confused and frightened, called upon their wise Queen Celestia. She was a kind ruler with hair as golden as sunlight and eyes that glowed like moonlight. She told her people, "The magic of Loria is tied to the Heartstone, a jewel hidden deep within the mountains. Someone must journey to find it and restore its light." Many tried to reach the Heartstone, but none returned. Over time, fear grew, and the people stopped trying. Slowly, the kingdom of Loria faded from memory, swallowed by the enchanted mist. It became a forgotten kingdom, its name whispered only in bedtime tales. The unexpected hero. Hundreds of years later, in a quiet village far from the mountains, a young girl named Lyra lived with her grandmother. Lyra loved stories about magic and adventure, especially the ones about Loria. One day, her grandmother said, "You might be the one to find Loria and bring it back to life." Lyra would laugh and shake her head. She was no hero, just a girl who loved to explore the woods. One morning, while wandering in the forest, Lyra stumbled upon an old crumbling archway covered in vines. As she brushed the vines aside, the air shimmered, and a soft voice whispered, "The forgotten kingdom awaits." Before Lyra could react, the ground beneath her feet glowed, and she was whisked away in a swirl of light. Entering Loria, Lyra found herself in a strange land. The skies were gray, the rivers barely trickled, and the once vibrant meadows were barren. She knew immediately where she was. "This must be Loria," she whispered. As Lyra wandered, she encountered a small, glowing creature with wings like stained glass. "I'm Fennel," the creature said. "You've been chosen to restore the Heartstone. But beware, the journey is perilous." Lyra hesitated. She wasn't brave or strong, but she couldn't ignore the sadness in Fennel's eyes or the emptiness of the land around her. Summoning her courage, she nodded. "I'll do it." The journey. Fennel guided Lyra through the misty woods, across shaky rope bridges, and into dark caverns. Along the way, they faced challenges. A mischievous wind spirit tried to blow them off course, but Lyra outsmarted it by offering it a tune from her wooden flute. A river of fire blocked their path, but Lyra discovered that the water from a nearby spring could cool the flames. At each challenge, Lyra learned something new about herself. She realized she was clever, resourceful, and far braver than she had ever imagined. The Heartstone. Finally, Lyra and Fennel reached a towering mountain with a glowing cave at its peak. Inside, they found the Heartstone, a magnificent gem pulsing with faint light. But the stone was guarded by a shadowy figura creature born of fear and doubt. "You are not worthy," the creature hissed. "Leave now or be consumed by your own fears." Lyra trembled but stood her ground. "I may be afraid," she said, "but this kingdom needs me, and I won't give up." The shadowy figure lunged, but Lyra held up her flute and played a melody she'd learned from her grandmother. The notes filled the cave with warmth and light, dissolving the shadow. The Heartstone's light grew brighter, enveloping the cave in a radiant glow. The return of Loria. With the Heartstone restored, Lyra and Fennel returned to the heart of the kingdom. The rivers began to flow again, the meadows bloomed, and the skies shimmered with vibrant colors. The people of Loria emerged from their homes, their faces filled with joy and wonder. Queen Celestia, who had been preserved by the magic of the Heartstone, appeared before Lyra. "You have done what no one else could," she said. "You have restored Loria. You are its hero." But Lyra shook her head. "I'm just a girl who loves stories, and now Loria's story can continue." A new beginning. Lyra returned to her village, but the kingdom of Loria was no longer forgotten. The mist lifted, and travelers began to visit the magical land. Lyra often returned to Loria, her heart forever tied to the kingdom she had saved. And in her village, she became a storyteller, sharing the tale of the forgotten kingdom and reminding everyone that even the smallest person can make a big difference. And so, the kingdom of Loria thrived once more, its magic shining brighter than ever, thanks to a young girl who dared to believe in the power of stories.